Hi everyone, my name is Miss Sloan and I'm going to talk to you today about a few books that I read recently that I think you'll really enjoy. All of these books are written in verse. And if you don't know what verse is, it's basically poetry. And I know that when you're asked to read poetry, a lot of you might let out a moan or a sigh and roll your eyes, and I bet one of you just rolled your eyes right now. But I promise that you will like these. And they're written in what's called free verse, so that doesn't mean there has to be rhyme, there doesn't have to be specific meter. The author and the poet are allowed to just write as they want, just as they were writing a regular novel, except here the lines are shorter, the book is faster paced, and so it's really fun to read. So another thing that I want to tell you about these books is that they all have a companion or a sequel book that goes with them. So if you enjoy reading them like I did, then there's another one that you can follow up with, which is really great if you like a book to always have something else to follow up and read afterwards. So the first book I want to show you is called Love That Dog. Here it is. You can see the dog right here. And this is about a boy named Jack who absolutely, positively does not understand poetry. He doesn't want to understand poetry, and he definitely doesn't want to write it. But his teacher makes him because that is a school assignment. And so he begins writing poems about things that they read in class and how he doesn't understand what they mean. And so I want you to see, you can see these pages, as I said before, they're shorter lines. It's a little different than reading a novel. And each page is a different poem. So that's really great. Each page is a different poem that Jack writes. And some of the pages even have little illustrations about his dog. So this is a really great book if you would like to practice reading out loud to your parents, to your friends, even if it's just to yourself. And if you like it and you want to find out what happens to Jack afterwards, you can also read the sequel, which is called Hate That Cat. So we got Love That Dog and then Hate That Cat. And so these are two really great books that I think you should read. So the next book that I want to share with you is called Gone Fishing by Tamara Wissinger, and this is from the point of view of a boy named Sam. Here's Sam, and his dad, who he likes to go fishing with. And so it's just an ordinary day. He's supposed to go fishing with his father again because it's the weekend, only there's one problem. His little sister Lucy decides she wants to tag along. And so in this book, he gets very annoyed. His little sister bugs him all the time. You can see here, he's holding a doll. He smells his little sister. He says, "What is this? A throne, a crown, a polka-dotted circus clown, a tiny bottle of perfume? I smell Lucy in my room." And so you can tell that he's really not happy because his little sister is butting in to his room and to his fishing trip with his father. And this book is really great. It's filled with lots of illustrations and lots of different poems that are written all differently. So some of them are lyric poems, some of them are cinquains, some of them are blues poems or concrete or limericks. And what's really awesome about this book is that at the end, the author has actually given us the different types of poems and how to write them and how Sam was able to write them and how you can make poetry really fun and that you can write about anything. So if you want to see what happens and find out how annoying his little sister Lucy is and if he ends up getting to have his fishing trip with his father the way he likes it, then you should read this. And there's even a sequel called Gone Camping that you can read afterwards because I know you're going to love it and I know you're going to want to read another book just like it. So the last book I want to talk to you about today is called Little Dog Lost by Marion Bauer. And this book is also written in verse, just like the other ones. See, we have our short lines. Each different poems make up our different chapters. And this book is about three characters. We have Mark, who is a boy who really, really wants a dog, and his mom, the mayor, who does not want to let him. And our next main character is Mr. LaRue, and he is a really old man who doesn't talk to anyone, and he lives in kind of a spooky house by himself. It's the biggest house in town, and no one knows anything about him except that he lives alone in this big house. And the last character is our girl dog named Buddy, which I know is kind of odd to have a girl dog named Buddy, but that's her name. And her family moves away and leaves her behind. And so all of these characters are pretty lonely and kind of sad, and they're trying to find ways to fix that. So if you want to find out how all these characters who don't even know each other are able to help each other out, then you should read this. It's really fun. It's a really great book. It's about a really cute little dog. And it actually has a companion book. So just like I said, some books have sequels, some have companion books. This is the companion to Little Dog Lost. This is called Little Cat's Luck. And the great thing about companion books is, unlike sequels, you don't have to read them in any specific order. If you like cats, maybe you want to read this one first. But if you like dogs, I think that you're going to really like Little Dog Lost. And so you should read all of these books that I talked to you about today and check them out. Thanks for listening.